Welcome, my friends, to day 2, part 1 of social media training. Angela Giles here from sunny San Diego. I hope your day is coming along quite nicely. I know mine is. Okay, today I'm going to divide this training up into 2 quick videos for you to watch and take notes on. What we're going to be talking about is automating your traffic using social media. We're going to talk about an infrastructure system that you can put into place whether you have these pieces or not. It doesn't matter, because we're going to teach you in this video and further videos how to put this all together and create loads and loads of free traffic. And what will happen is, with this traffic that you're going to be bringing to your centralized hub, which is right here, this is your blog, you're going to put value-driven content on this blog, and you'll create automatic traffic, which will lead to leads or prospects, then to sales, which means automated income. Can you think about that? Using this system, you put value-driven content onto your blog, you'll create automated traffic, which will turn into leads or prospects, then into sales, and then into automated income. That's huge. Wrap your brain around that, put it in the back of your brain, and we'll move forward. Now, I want to talk really quickly about what a blog is. You've probably heard the term blog and think, okay, well, that's, where people write about their personal life, what's going on in their life. They write about what their dog had for breakfast. They put pictures up of their friends, etc., etc. That's true. That's what a lot of people do with blogs. But for the purpose of a blog here in these trainings, we're talking about a blog where you've established yourself, or you are in the process of establishing yourself as a brand, and you've picked a particular niche that you are exposing, that you want to make money from. In other words, you're using your blog as a medium to create sales and bring in income for yourself online. So we're going to be talking about a blog in for that purpose. Now, with this blog, we talked about in the very first video in day 1 of how important it is that you have content that is value driven. Content is king. And what I want to talk to you about is if you're creating your own content, there's typically 4 different ways or 4 different mediums that you want to think about it, at least when you're first starting creating your own content. One is using videos, so creating videos. You could create, 2 or 3 minute clips every day. You could create a 5-minute clip once a week. You could create 3 10-minute clips. It really honestly doesn't matter, but you want to keep your clips, 10 minutes or less. That way you can put them on most sites like YouTube or, things of that nature, and you won't have any limitations of where you can host them, and you can host them for free. And the other thing that you could also put is blog posts, just a short type of inspirational story that you can write about that has happened to you or that has happened to other people. You could write a quick article. You could also write an article on marketing that particular niche. There's so many different things. Now, you may be concerned about content. Well, that's great. You may be thinking, but I'm nervous about creating my own content. And the way that you can get around that is very simple. You can start researching not only for your own content, but you can do some research on what other people in your niche are putting out there on their blogs or creating videos of. And when you find something great, you can just put a little link on your blog, giving them the credit, of course, with a little blurb that says, hey, I love this video that, Joe Smith talked about when he talked about, say, your niche is training dogs, and you want to, and you send this out to your friends on Facebook that are interested in that. And so so you keep finding different articles, different videos, different, type of not social, but of different medium content that is all about dog training, and you're sharing that with your friends on your different social networks that are interested in dog training. So what they're going to come to on your blog is to come to expect this great content that you're sharing, even if it's other people's content, as long as you're giving them credit. And they're going to keep coming back to your blog and looking to see if you have new content, or they'll subscribe to your RSS feed. Now, if you don't know what an RSS feed is, that's okay, because we'll teach you in other videos. So what I'm saying is you can always borrow other people's content as long as you give them credit and use their link and point to it, and you can share that with people. That still gives you credibility in your readers and your viewers' eyes, because you're establishing yourself as someone that knows what they're talking about when it comes to that particular area of expertise. Okay, so that gives you a way to come up with some really valuable content. Now make sure that it's very valuable though, because that is critical. If you just put garbage up there or stuff that's just, you know, mediocre, people are going to be like, whatever, they don't really know because they've seen that 1,000 times on the web. So really make sure that you know, are spending your time researching and putting up really good content. Now let's talk about syndication of content. This, my friends, is a huge word, syndication. You're probably thinking, well, what the heck does syndication mean? It's simple. It's sharing. Now, it's sharing of your content. And there's a very specific way to go about this. And you're probably wondering, well, how? What do I do? It's all about building strategic relationships with partners that you can share your content with and that they can share their content with you. Let me give you an example. Say that you go to your Facebook, you have a Facebook account, or you're setting one up and you have built relationships with, say, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And you're just, you know, you may be starting out, so you may only have one, you may have 50. I mean, it really doesn't matter because you're going to be building these relationships as you go along and create social buzz for yourself and are building your brand. But say that you have 50, for example, and you had created this great video on training, you know, your dog Roxy, just for an example, because that's what we're using for an example, and you want to get it out there. So what you can do is you can, obviously you put the video on your blog, and then you can send out an email, or you can phone them if you have their phone numbers, or you can send them a Facebook, you know, invitation, or a Facebook, you know, request, whatever you want to do with your Facebook email to these 50 people. And you can, and they're all people that are related to, you know, wanting to know more about dogs, or they have an expertise in dogs, or they could be dog lovers. It doesn't matter, but they're all some sort of related to dogs, or they have an interest in dogs. So what you do is you send out this quick little email that says, hey, I have just created this video on how to train my dog Roxy in this specific area, and I would love for you to share it with your social network friends. And in return, if you ever have anything that you would like me to share, I would be happy to do that for you as well. So it's kind of like a give and take relationship. Now, what I encourage you to do too when you're trying to form these strategic relationships is truly, if you're building those strategic relationships, or you want more, or you want better ones, is to go out there and look for people that have already created great content around your level or around your niche or your expertise. That way, when you're sharing content, you can be sure that they know what they're talking about. So when you're sharing their content, that, you know, you're coming across once again as someone that knows what they're talking about, and that you're sharing good value-driven content. The last thing you want is to build a relationship with someone that isn't providing great content. So when they send it to you and they want you to send it out to all your social networks, you're going to say, well, you know, how do you tell someone it's not that great, and you don't like it and you don't want to send it out? And if you do that too many times, then, you know, word gets around on the internet and they can get upset, and you know how that is. So when you're building these strategic alliances, make sure that the people that you're building them with are truly people that write good content, or that, you know, create good videos, or whatever that content will be. So that is super, super important. And that, my friends, is syndication of content. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is social networks. And briefly here, social networks are where these are things like Dig, Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, things of that nature. Now, what I'm going to do is I would like for you to pause here, and we're going to create another video and go to part 2 of day 2, and we will finish up automate traffic using social media there, and we'll start up with social networks. So make it a great day, and go click on the next video right down below.